What is good, everybody? Happy Saturday night. I definitely would not be as long as I was last night. I'm having some laptop charger problems. I think I need to get a new laptop charger, so I might be limited to like 20, 30 minutes tonight. But we got Jim Riley from Ball Cap Sports coming on, a very special guest. And we're going to autopsy the Blue Jays, we're going to autopsy the Yankees and see what the hell happened, get his perspective on it, and, you know, and what do we need to do surgically to repair them this offseason, right? And are the predictions different than the reality? I think they are, and and I tell people all the time, like, I'm gonna do MLB free agent prediction. That's not what I want them to do. That's what I think they're going to do. I think it's a combination of what I'm confident they're going to do and what I'm not confident they're going to do. It's a combination of the two. So that's why my predictions are my predictions based on what they've done for the franchise the last couple of years, where I think they still be better and so on. So. Um, you know, welcome everybody. Shout out to everybody in 161 in the chat, right? And I'm happy that you're all here. Really, 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 I am. So, Jim, we should be here any minute. But gang, we talked about this too. What are your thoughts about my free agent predictions? By the way, I did that with Joey last night from the shift. Tonight I did. Today I did my expanded version with some additional names and so on and so forth. So, yeah, appreciate you, Dominic. Yeah, roll call. Shout out to everybody in here. Dominic, Sean, my consigliere's in the house. Yes, sir. Yes, Mike Pellegrino. Bruce is here too. What is good, fellas? What is good? So that's what we got, right? And again, I think most of us are in agreement. The Yankees were spent a combination of underperforming veterans, injuries, lack of depth, and the backups. Like, when their veterans stunk, their backups were not that much better than them. So they were bereft of a lot of opportunities to get better, unfortunately. So that's a big thing they need to change. And I'm glad that Garrett Cole and Aaron Judge are going to have input when they talk to Hal and the rest of them. So, and hopefully they'll take these guys seriously and listen to them. Because I do think they need some contact bats. And I've said this before. Like, we need guys to protect Judge. We need guys to protect Stanton. Take the pressure off both of them. We do. That's why multiple contact backs, and that's like, as much as I would love Juan Soto. I'm skeptical it's going to happen, but I would take three guys like Candelario and Kiermaier and Lee over Soto if I could. It's three spots. So, I want a stud. Soto's the guy. I would take him over Bellinger any day of the week. I think he's a mile ahead of Bellinger. So, and it's particularly from a contact hitting standpoint, putting the ball in play and getting on base. So, and again, yeah, Jonathan makes a good point too. They had a righty-dominated lineup playing in a stadium that was built for lefties. So the construction wasn't even, it's like trying to put circles in a triangle box, or squares in a circle box. Like, it wasn't a fit, right? No. Now the Gallo trade should have never happened, but my fans were asking for it too. So it goes both ways there too, Jonathan. But yeah, I would have been fine had it not happened. Yeah, like Yankee Matsui's a reliever. You get Yamamoto. I hope he comes here instead of the Mets. I have a feeling the Mets are going to try to have the high bid there. If you got Lee, you got Kiermaier, Candelario, those three guys, I think would be a lot of affordable. And if you look at this, right, let's just say Lee's like 18 per, Kiermaier maybe 10 per, Candelario 12 to 14 per. That's about 40 to 42 million. That's probably what Soto's going to cost by himself. And they got three players here for a couple of years. So another way of thinking about it too. Yeah, Harrison Bader. I don't think Bader's going to come back now, Peter. I don't. I really don't. Just like I don't think Herman's going to come back. I don't think Sevy's going to come back. And there's a lot of guys that I don't think are going to come back. Computer security, nice. Yeah, I need a new charger for my laptop. I think my charger I didn't realize it had a little bit of a tear in it. So this is probably why it's not working properly. So I'll have one by tomorrow. I'm going to go tomorrow morning and get a new charger. So that way I can continue doing the good stuff. You know what I mean? But we need, exactly, Sean. We need Hal to be like, I can't let Steve Cohen outbid me. I can't do it. Just can't do it. I can't do it. So, and this is the opportunity for the Yankees to really show Because at the end of the day, do I think they're going to get Bellinger, Otani, and so? No. I don't know who thinks that. I mean, that would be beyond what they did in 2009. So, and again, I don't think that's realistic. So, um, but it is what it is. And this is why I think the Yankees can go after multiple bats here and stay within in a parameter where they don't blow past thresholds and they're not giving up extra prospects because of qualifying offers. All that stuff is thought into and factored into my free agent predictions for other teams as well. So appreciate it, Mets fan. I think the Mets are going to sign Yamamoto. They were my prediction there. And I I think they're going to make a trade for Peter Alonso. Um, and I think they're going to get a reliever too, either an Asian reliever or like a guy like what's the guy's name? He's in the Phillies right now, Jose Alvarado. I mean, I think he can go to a team like Detroit, but again, the Mets can outplay Detroit, and the Mets can use a credible reliever, especially from the left-handed side. So I will look for Jose Alvarado. He's on the Phillies right now, and we're better to stay in the National League East. So if they got Yamamoto and Alvarado, I'd be a pretty nice start for the Mets. So I know people are saying, me not to be sold on Kekheim. The reason why, and again, people harping about his batting average, I get that, right? But the fact is, he's a situational hitter. He hits in big spots. He hits lefty, puts the ball in play. He's he's an elite defender, one of the top defenders in center field. Plus, he's not going to cost the farm. And if we're not going to get a Juan Soto, then I want somebody like Kevin Kiermaier. Right? I'd rather take him for a year or two instead of paying $200 million for Cody Bellinger. I worry about the metrics on Bellinger. I do. Teoscar Hernandez an option too for the Mets fan. I could see that. I can see that. Teoscar Hernandez back here would probably be a nice fit over there for the Mets. I really do. What's up, Texas? The Emperor of Texas is in the house. Hector's in the place. Hector, my deepest brother, my deepest. Shout out to Hector in the morning, bro. Shout out to all the crew. I'm going to keep it short and sweet tonight. We're supposed to have Jim Riley coming on. Not sure where he's at yet. But again, that's essentially the autopsy for the Yankees, right? They fell into too many holes. A righty dominant lineup in a stadium built for lefties. So it was completely counterproductive to what they wanted to do. So, and right now I'm actually working on a group panel with Hector, the boys from Pinstripe Chronicles, Jiggaman, TC Steels, working on the crew, and Nathan Ramachandra, working on a crew. We're going to do a live panel over the next couple of days. And so be on the lookout for that too. So you'll have 5 or 6 minds working together. It's brainstorming, man. Brainstorming. So that's going to be awesome. Appreciate you, Texas. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. And if he's in the house, the party now. Hector's in the place too. What it do, man? What it do? So, yeah, man. D-Rod's in the place. Dominique 5 is here too. Yeah. So, and that's the thing. Like, what's your take on the autopsy? Like I said, it was a combination of pretty much an opposite lineup without credible backups in most every position, right? And way too many injuries. I mean, do I think if Judge didn't miss 50 games and Rodon didn't miss 3 months and Nestor Cortez didn't miss 3 months, the Yankees could have made it in? I do. But that's in the past now. Can't change it. So I don't know. It didn't happen. So, but that was part of the problem. Just part of it. So, and we know that they're not going to audit the way that we thought they were going to audit. So, I mean, it sounds like they're going to hire a company, watch the way they do analytics, and then compare how they do it to them, which just doesn't really make much sense either. So, there's got to be some kind of change that happens here. It needs to be noticeable. Joe, my consigliere, thank you so much, my man. I appreciate you. Emperor of California here too. We got the Prime Minister of Texas, the Emperor of California. We got the whole crew here. I mean, you know what I mean? We got the Duke and the Prime Minister of New York City here. So we got them all. Hector's a Duke. That's like a royalty in New York City right there. So, and yes, we have the Prince of the Rocky Mountains too. And if he's in the house as well. Royalty all over the place. All over the place. Yeah, getting your butt exactly. And again, these guys and Rizzo, he missed about 3 months. Healthy miss Trevino. We missed a lot of key guys. And they've got to address training. They've got to address medical staff. They got to address a lot of areas. So, and again, I am of the belief that I cannot foot the blame on Aaron Boone here. I don't think Torrey would have taken him to the World Series. I don't think Girardi would have. I don't think Casey Stengel would have. I don't think there's a manager in the world that would have taken this team to the World Series. I don't. So people can disagree, and that's fine. But again, yeah, they want Boone. I put out a short on that earlier. They want Boone to be more assertive now in 2024. So I appreciate you too, NFE, man. You're the man, dude. Right, Texas? So, yeah, I mean, Rodon was like 3 months behind. Having missed 3 months, never had a spring training. They tried to rush him, and he was all over the place. So he had some moments where we could see the potential of the ace Rodon, but way too many, you know, don't belong in the rotation moments, right? Yeah. Clemenza's not here. Yeah. What am I in here? Just want to make sure I'm not getting Jim Riley's not reaching out to me. Let me see here in case he needs a little intel. I sent him the link. Oh well. Well, it's all right if he doesn't come. We're celebrating us being here together too. And again, like, and where would they? What would they do in this particular playoffs right now? Like, you got the Texas Rangers facing the Orioles. The star-studded Texas Rangers versus the young, dynamic Orioles, right? And then you have the Astros, who I think the offense might be on the downslide of their championship window, even though they got some young guys like Alvarez and Tucker. Um, I think they're going to need to make some pitching moves this offseason. They got them going up against the Twins, who I think are on the upswing. And they got Correa going after his home team. So imagine if Correa puts a beating on his hometown Astros. Like, you could just see it. I could see it. And the Twins are due. They've gotten their ass kicked by the Yankees for like a decade and a half or 2 decades. Like, they're due to win some games. The Yankees aren't here. That's probably why they're winning freaking playoff games. So, but a lot of these guys, and again, like if you're gonna hold either Cashman or Boone accountable, it should probably be Cashman. But who is going to replace Cashman is the question. That can do what they need to get done in the way that he does it. So, I mean, the only guy, in my opinion, who I can think of that can be as desirable as him would be Theo Epstein. But I don't think he's going to take a step down to be GM again, unless they pay him $10 million a year. I think he's being groomed to be the next commissioner of baseball. Stuff he touched goes to go. I mean, and he's taken 2 dynasties on like almost century-long losing streaks to championship America. So, like, I mean, my God, he doesn't need to GM again. So Kim Eng, I did a video on her. She was Cashman's assistant. He's the Marlins GM. She's done a pretty good job. She brought in like Jake Berger and Josh Bell. So I could see them promoting to Cashman to some other position, VP of whatever, VP of situations or whatever the hell they name it, and bringing somebody like Kim Eng. And I'm hearing that some teams are courting Carlos Mendoza, the Yankees bench coach, so they might need a new bench coach too. So that might be happening in the near future as well. So I'll keep you posted on that. So anybody that's not subscribed to this channel, just hit that button. That way you don't miss it. I will keep you uploaded on everything. And every free agent moves that comes out, I will put it out. Place, location, player, and contract details. So even if it's like 4,000 videos, this is my my stepping grounds here, my stomping grounds. This is what I love to do. So I love to keep you all informed on the inside stuff. And I think I'm with you too, NFE. I think analytics had him in a chokehold in a lot of different ways, and it was almost like a chain chokehold. It's like ridiculous. So yeah, I mean, Kim May can come over and put Cashman to a VP role, something like that. Yeah. Try to make Randy Levine a little more relevant. People can't stand Randy Levine, so Jace Pierce in the house. What's good? But again, this is the thing. Like, these are the things that the Yankees need to. We need to know. I think, as fans, as loyal fans, that we need to know that they're serious about making the changes that they need to make. And Fishman, yeah, Mike Fishman, no doubt about it, Sean. I would move on from him, the head of analytics. So, I don't like, he rubs me the wrong way when he speaks. He really, really does. And it's like his way, or if you don't agree with him, you're a moron. I guess get that vibe and that. So, Blue Jays are out. Do you think? I don't think they're going to fire Don Mattingly. As bench coach, I don't know. He wasn't their hitting coach, was he? So, if they fired Don Mattingly, I would be placing a call to try to get him here as a bench coach. No doubt about it. So, they're definitely looking to Bellinger. It's due diligence. But again, he comes with a qualifying offer. The other guys don't. So, and he's probably going to run $200 million. And again, he had a great season in 2018. Then he had like 3 injury plague season, and he had this year. So is it enough? Is it a portrait of consistency? When you look at Juan Soto, and the Yankees have the depth prospects to get him. Okay, whether it's quantity or quality, the Yankees have what it takes to get Juan Soto. They just have to have the balls to execute it. Okay, but the fact is, Soto, he's an on-base percentage machine. He gets on base every single year. And he's young. He hits in the play, hits in the clutch. He does everything the Yankees need. He checks all the boxes. Yes, he's going to cost more, but I would rather pay more money for him. And if I'm not going to get a Juan Soto, I'd rather go like Candelario and Kevin Kiermaier and Jung Ho Lee instead of Bellinger by himself. I'd rather get 3 players, 3 lefty bats instead of 1. So that's kind of my logic. None of those guys will have the impact on the team that Juan Soto has. Nobody. The Yankees don't even have anybody, with the exception of Judge. Offensively, there's nobody here that can have the impact on a team that Juan Soto would have. So no prospects either. It's not even close. So it's and like no, I mean I doubt they'll get all 3, but I think they could get 2 out of 3. Like I think they can get Candelario and Kiermaier. Or Candelario and Lee. I mean, they're scouting Yamamoto and they're scouting Lee heavily. And we just found out today that according to MLBTradeRumors.com, the Giants are scouting Yamamoto and Lee pretty heavily too. And they struck out on Judge and Correa last year, so I know they're going to be eager to spend. So, unless he wants to go and play Rice Aroni's the San Francisco treat, unless he wants to go have a lot of Rice Aroni, but hitting McCovey Cove and all this stuff, he's not a power guy anyway, Lee, so. I think he'll be a better fit as a leadoff hitter for the Yankees. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Judge, Captain America and Hulk. I like it. I like it. That's awesome. That's awesome, man. What an amazing offseason. You can't expect them to. No, I wouldn't expect anybody to be the favorite. You can get everybody. It doesn't make you the favorite. Or, doesn't mean like the Mets got everybody and they were the favorites and they shit the bed. So I would rather have, the fact is the Yankees have like multiple holes to fill. So I would rather have a volume off season than a 1 or 2 expensive superstar player off season. I'd rather address 6 holes than 2 really good players and still have 4 holes. You know what I mean? So when the Yankees, like 2009, they got CC, they got Burnett, 2nd-tier starter. They got Teixeira, they got Nick Swisher, Jameson Marte. They were across the board. So do you think the Yankees would have won the World Series with just CC and Teixeira? I don't think so. Without Burnett, without Teixeira, without Marte, I don't think so. This is what I'm talking about. They addressed multiple holes. And this is a situation where the Yankees need to address multiple holes. And upgraded them. So that's my take on it. That's my take. And here he is, special guest. Jim Riley's in the house, man.
Jason, I apologize for the delay. I apologize for my tardiness. I was hung up on content, and then we were talking and everything. But
I'll apologize too. I'm having a laptop charger problem, so I'll keep it relatively short and sweet.
Okay.
I won't take too much of your time, but
let's do it.
Autopsy give me an autopsy on the Blue Jays. What the hell happened?
What happened is failure.
Welcome to Jim Riley. This is one of my favorite channels on baseball. I am you too.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Failure at the most basic level happened, where you overthought it and you made the wrong moves from not just a managerial position, but the whole, it is the philosophy of the organization going too far on the analytics. Jose Barrios coming out. That never should have happened. It's just failure at the most basic level. And the thing I'm worried about the most is that we won't see the changes that are needed.
What do you
And
think, what do you think the necessary changes are? Because I was just talking.
I think the general manager needs to be fired.
Okay.
The general manager needs to be fired. Ross Atkins needs to be out. James Click is the assistant GM. Give him the job. And so that way it's kind of like a plug and play. You just promote somebody from within.
Fair enough.
Ross Atkins needs to go. John Schneider better be cozy and have a great relationship with James Click. Otherwise, he can go too.
Yeah.
John Schneider is a yes man. John Schneider should have said no on Wednesday. And he didn't. And the team lost. And now it's funny because of all 4 teams that lost, it's the Blue Jays fan base that wants to send everybody to the sun. Rebuild the whole roster. Vladdy gone. I don't care. They're criticizing Bo. It is across the board. Everybody except Kevin Gausman and Jose Barrios and Chris Bassett. Everybody else, send them to the sun.
Damn.
It's terrible.
How would you attack the offseason, like player wise? If you were going to, what do you need? Well, who would you bring in? Like, and I know I understand like predictions are different than reality and everything else. And like, what if you were the GM? What would you do?
I would look for a value play. I'll go unit to unit. I'll start at starting pitching. I am going to let Hyunjin Ryu walk. I have no need for that. I'm going to let him walk. But I still want to replace him. I'm hopeful that Manoah can get his stuff together, but if he doesn't, I can't rely on Ricky Tiedemann. So I gotta shop in the bargain. I gotta shop in the Alex Wood side of the starting pitching market. I would look somewhere around there. For the bullpen, I gotta get Hicks back.
Yeah.
Have to. I want Hicks back. Pretty much everybody else in that bullpen is coming back.
Yeah.
I got to go get Hicks back. So that's the thing I want to do for the bullpen. Let me go to my bench. I am bringing in a new manager.
Council?
am changing the philosophy. What was that?
Council?
I don't know where I'm going. I hate to say it, but I feel like anybody's better. I mean, I really like the Astros bench coach. James Click was just there. If James Click if I'm the president of baseball operations and James Click is my general manager, I tell James Click to go and get the Astros bench coach and bring him over. I need somebody that has won. I need somebody that takes this thing seriously, because the position players are not serious enough. Vladimir Guerrero, do you understand that Vladimir Guerrero Jr. now, the lasting image of him is him laying on the ground looking like a dope that is posing for a swimsuit calendar. That's the lasting image of Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Then we won't see it, and nothing's going to change that until he hits a bomb in spring training.
Yeah.
So that's going to just sit with baseball fans. And Vladimir Guerrero Jr. needs to get serious. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. needs to get in shape. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. needs to get his shit together.
Can you think of a veteran, like a no-nonsense veteran, that would be a good idea to bring in?
Well, the Blue Jays brought those guys. They brought those guys in. They brought in Kevin Kiermaier. They brought in Brendan Belt. They brought in Whit Merrifield at the trade deadline last year. But still, they brought those guys in. Kevin Gausman is a serious guy. Chris Bassett is a very serious guy. Dalton Varsho Even though his bat is soft, you've got a guy that's serious there. And all of those serious guys, and the Blue Jays are still in the same position they were last year and the same position they were the last time they made the playoffs in 2020.
Yeah.
Out without winning a game. So I've got to, I mean, I would love to get Kevin Kiermaier back. I don't know if that's going to happen. I think Brandon Belt is probably going to sign a one-day contract with the San Francisco Giants and retire. So they're going to be looking for a lefty bat. When I look at the lefty bat market, it's not that great. Cody Bellinger is the one that stands out, but I worry about Cody Bellinger on a long-term contract. Like the Cubs had it great. You had Cody Bellinger on a 1-year prove it kind of deal. Now he's going to go sign a 5-year deal with somebody, and if he goes backwards, you're stuck with them.
Yep.
So I don't want anything to. The Blue Jays do not have the wherewithal to take that kind of risk. So who's the other lefty bat? There really isn't one. So they're going to have to do something in the trade market. I have not pinpointed where they're going to go because we really don't know who's available in the trade market yet. Maybe Juan Soto is available in the trade market. And if he is, because, San Diego wants to be at $200 million, right? Mm-hmm. So if they want to do that, if San Diego wants to stay around $200 million and still improve their team, they've got to trade Juan Soto. Because if you give Juan Soto the $35 million that he's going to get for the final year of his arbitration, and you have all the other arbitration players, and you have all the other existing contracts, you are at $200 million before signing a free agent, before and as you watch Blake Snell and you wave goodbye to Snell and Hader, you're at $200 million and you cannot improve that pitching staff. So they almost have to trade one. This is what you do if you're San Diego. I know you asked me about Toronto, but it circles back. Yeah. If you are San Diego, you trade Juan Soto to the Blue Jays. You get pitching back in return from Toronto, and you go re-sign Blake Snell. If you want San Diego, if you want to be in the mix next year, you got to trade Soto because you got to get rid of that $35 million. Bring a couple good prospects from Toronto back. Make sure you get pitching that's going to help you right away. That'll give you the money to re-sign Blake Snell. You're probably going to need to dip into the trade market again and then pitch off one of those prospects to bring maybe more starting pitching in.
Yeah.
But I think San Diego has to get really creative. And I'm not saying Juan Soto is going to be traded, but there's a avenue for it. And if you're Toronto and you even get a whiff of that, you have to go hard at that because Juan Soto generally is a jovial guy, but he's serious too. He's serious about winning, and that could be great for Vladimir Guerrero Jr. To get Juan Soto in there for a year and show Vladdy how to have fun and be serious.
And he'll be the guy. Vladdy won't be the guy if Juan Soto's here. So.
Right. And yeah, exactly. Vladdy wants to be the leader. And Vladdy puts a lot on his shoulders. But the problem is Vladdy likes to have more fun. Yep. And you also have these lapses in judgment with Vladimir Guerrero Jr. that you don't seem to have as frequently with other superstar players.
Yep.
Listen, we're at a point. This is amazing to think. For your team, would you ever be at a spot where you would say, you know what? I could live without Aaron Judge. Never will.
Yeah,
the Orioles, will they ever get to a point where they say, Adley Rutschman, you know what? If he's gone, fine. I'm sick of his bullshit. You've got the star player for all 29 other teams. You just would not hear the fan base saying, you know what? I could live without that guy. Yeah. And there's a significant portion of the Blue Jays fan base that is just has fallen. Vladdy has fallen. When he was up in I think it was the 8th inning of Game 2, he came to bat. Here's another one. Here's another example. Has Aaron Judge ever come to the plate and you were like, here comes a ground out? Every time Aaron Judge comes to the plate, you're like, this guy can hit a home run any time. Vladdy comes to the plate and you're like, oh, you know what? I know what should happen. He can't do it. I got a ground ball coming or I got a line drive coming.
Yeah.
And he lined out to center field. It was an absolute rocket, but he struggles with launch angle. And because he doesn't have significant launch angle, but he's got great exit velo, he hit, 26 home runs this year?
Yeah.
Should have hit 40, but there's no launch angle. I don't know. I have given you the full synopsis, and I'll be quiet now. You ask any other question you want or anything you want to piggyback onto it.
It sounds right, man. Like the Yankees, we have our own, and he's not a superstar, but our own good player, Gleyber Torres, has the same type of mental lapses and lapses in concentration that offsets his offensive output.
Yeah.
It drives people crazy when I say that they should consider trading him and getting something for him, because he's the only guy with trade value on the team.
Yeah.
And you could replace his offense.
Yeah.
Let's just say you get Peraza at second. You get a Jamer Candelario, right? In a 2 or 3 year deal. Put him at third base. We pretty much replaced his offense. We got way better defensively. We just added a contact bat, puts the ball in play. We need guys that are going to take the pressure off Judge and take the pressure off Stanton. So we need more contact bats.
I'll say this.
Go ahead.
And just to answer Dominic's question, I'm not worried about Romano. I know we kind of tailed off towards the end. My son wants to trade Jordan Romano. I'm not worried about him. I think he'll be fine. I think you need to trade Gleyber for pitching.
I've said it for a year. People think I'm smoking dope.
I think you need to trade it for pitching. I think you have what is supposed to be the future of that middle infield. Give them a chance next year. You have to improve the pitching. You have too much money tied up in Cole and Rodon to go out there and drop another $30 million a year on Blake Snell. So I don't think the Yankees can fish in the top half of that starting pitching market, which means you're not going to improve the rotation. Going out and doing what I said the Blue Jays could do, sort of shop in the Alex Wood side of things, Yankees can't do that. The Yankees need to find a way to go out there and improve the rotation significantly. I don't think they can do it via free agency because of all the money they've already sunk into the rotation. So they need to go out there. It's got to be a trade. And Gleyber Torres, like you said, he's the guy that probably has the best trade value. Go out there and trade Gleyber Torres for one. You could probably get a great pitcher back. Braxton Garrett, sure.
Garrett from the Marlins, or David Bednar, a closer for the Pirates. Like, do something. And it would save us another $15 million. Okay, so that if they want to try to get Yamamoto for the pitching, if they do decide to add pitching, because I think Cole wants another pitcher, they've just cleared off $15 million, which makes it easier for them to get a guy like Yamamoto, who's going to cost less than Blake Snell anyway.
Right.
So clears up a different path. Yep.
No, the Yamamoto thing is going to be interesting because of how much money does he get to? Right. I think I don't think the Yankees can just close their eyes and just keep hitting the up button on the dollar amount that they're offering him. I think the Yankees will eventually have a tap out number, and that tap out number. What's that?
I think he's going to be close to 200. I think he'll get close to 200 million. Yamamoto.
Yeah.
I do.
I think I agree with you on that. The Yankees will have a tough time with that.
Yeah, and this is why, like, to me, trading Gleyber Torres is kind of a good security blanket. So that if you can't get Yamamoto, you can still bring a pitcher.
What do we got? I haven't. Go ahead. Keep going. You
know what I mean? Like a guy like Braxton Garrett's got 4 controllable years. That's what we need. Somebody like that. He's a lefty. That's the type of pitcher, right? Jordan Montgomery. Maybe they can get him. He'll be a lot cheaper. I don't know if he'll be willing to, but it's going to cost a hell of a lot less than any of these other guys would.
Cleveland is a team that needs to improve their lineup in a bad way. Can you find a trade for Bieber or McKenzie? I think you got to find
Do they need a second baseman?
that fit.
Who do they have? Ahmed Rosario?
No, Rosario's with the Dodgers. At second base right now for Cleveland, they've got a lot of infielders. They've got
that's right. That's right.
Jimenez. They've got Jimenez. They've got Freeman. They've got a few guys. But Glaber would be an offensive upgrade.
Yeah, he would add to that offense. He'd be a good compliment to freaking Jose Ramirez and some of these other guys. So that's another team I would be looking to trade for. Yeah, I mean, I would just want to get a pitcher, another pitcher to the rotation.
If there's a year that Milwaukee's going to trade Corbin Burnes, I think this offseason might be it. Would you do Glaber and a top prospect for Corbin Burnes? Let's see. Those in the chat right now, I can't hear Jason. I see in the comment section, you guys can't hear Jason right now. Can you, those of you in the chat, can you hear me? I'm curious. Booyah, Jonathan, Texas. All right, Lewis, you guys can hear me? Okay. All right, welcome to 161 River Ave. I have officially taken over. I have booted Jason out. I have cut him off. I have muted him off. I am here to tell you exactly what the Yankees need to do. Everything I say is co-signed by this guy, and you can't prove otherwise because we can't hear him right now. So here's what you need to do. You need to, if you're the Yankees, you trade Garrett Cole and Aaron Judge to the Toronto Blue Jays. And you're like, whoa, stop, hold on. You can't do. Yes, you can. The Toronto Blue Jays will send megastar, bigger than the Martian, or Elvis Martinez and Ricky Tiedemann back. So you're going to get two monster prospects. So this is going to be tough. This is tough to take, but you're also going to have to send to get that level of prospect back. You're going to have to send 90% of their salaries in cash to Toronto with them. But in the end, Yankees fans, you will thank me for this one because the championships you will win, the financial flexibility you will have will allow you to do amazing things. You will reach the mountaintop. All you got to do is trade Cole and Judge to the Toronto Blue Jays. And while you're at it, make sure you give Brian Cashman a lifetime contract the rest of the way. And give him the opt-out where if you ever fire him, he gets to take over ownership control of the team. So that way you can never make that mistake. You can never make that mistake of firing Brian Cashman, because if you do, then he becomes your boss. So you got to make sure you give Brian Cashman a lifetime contract. And while you're at it, you need to promote Brett Boone. You need to promote Aaron Boone. You need to hire Brett Boone. You need to, out in Monument Park, you need to, what's the word when you take the bodies out of the ground? Take the bodies out of the ground and go put them in Monument Park. All of the Boones that have passed on, they go out into Monument Park. They get their own things. Aaron Boone is promoted not just to manager, but to czar, everlasting controller of every baseball decision. It's a brand new title. It's a long one. They'll come up with an acronym to shorten it up. And that's what you do. So you got Boone forever. Cashman forever. Judge and Cole are in Toronto. And you got Aurelvis Martinez and Ricky Tiedemann in New York. That's it. That's how you do it. Jason, where are you, man? Let me see if I got anything from him on Twitter. He's DMing me right now. I know he was having trouble with his stuff. What do we got? We got lifetime contracts for Cashman and Boone. That's what we got. We got the whole Boone family resting in peace out in Monument Park. That's what we got. It looks like he has frozen. I don't know if he's going to be back. Doesn't look like he's going to be back. Daniel Boone. Exactly. Dominic, he's related to Daniel Boone. That's the word. I had Brett Boone on the podcast, and Brett Boone was telling me that there is truth to the whole Daniel Boone, the whole Daniel Boone thing. All right. It looks like the stream is going to come to an end. Jason may be back at some point. If he is back, make sure to check him out. Come on back, hang out with Jason. If Jason gets back at a certain point and I am around, I will be back with Jason. Maybe we'll reschedule this to another day. But you can't undo what's already been done, Yankee fans. Congratulations, Cashman and Boone, lifetime contracts. By the way, you get to change your name to Steinbrenner if you want. If you want. I guess that's it for now anyway. Stay close to Jason's channel. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet. Hit that like on the way out. I'm going to leave. Jason will let you know what he's doing. And if he comes around and I'm around, then we'll be right back. Outside of that, if I don't see you guys, enjoy your, what day is today? Friday. See you guys.